The iPhone 2G, Apple's first smartphone to enter the market in 2007. Today we'll tear it down and replace the headphone jack assembly. So the first tool that you're going to need to open up your iPhone is a spudger. Here I'm using a metal spudger, and what I'm doing here is sliding it in between the metal frame and the antenna cover. Watch out for the antenna ribbon cable. This is the orange cable that you see here. And what you're going to do is twist your spudger, so allowing the clasps to release and the back plate to come off. Once you got that back plate off, you need to slide it, and that is going to be off. The next step is get a Phillips 00 screwdriver, and what you're going to do is unscrew 3 screws that are holding the metal plate to the back. So next, you're going to grab your spudger and try and pry the metal casing off of the back. What worked for me is sliding it in between the screen and the casing, and then trying to twist it. You can see here I was able to open it. This is a hard thing to do, so take your time. You don't want to break any of the fragile parts inside. Once you got one side open, it's quite easy because it's loose and you can get the other side open. Now you can see that I managed to get most of the casing off. This is the hardest part, so don't worry, take your time and go easy. Now you can see I've got the metal casing off, but be careful, there is still a ribbon cable attached to the back plate. You can see here it's attached to the motherboard. And what you're going to need to do is get a nylon spudger, try and not use metal spudgers, and unclip it like a little Lego from the motherboard. Metal spudgers can cause shorts on the motherboard. You don't want that when the battery's connected. Now you're going to need your Phillips 00 screwdriver, and what you're going to do is there is these 2 screws here that you can see that you need to unscrew to get the little latch off of the home button. No, sorry, the power button. Here you can see I'm trying to pry up the home button so it's released from the casing. The flex is secured with some glue under it, so don't go pulling it just yet because it can tear very easily, which you don't want. There's 3 screws that you also need to do. if you don't keep your screws organised, putting them in the wrong hole can do serious damage to the electronics inside. And here you can see me prying up the flex cable from the glue. There's 2 more screws along the side, and that is for the mute button. And there are also 3 more screws at the side of the casing to release the volume up and volume down buttons. The flex is all connected to these, so you can't take the flex cable off without taking the screws out. To get the headphone jack out, all you need to do is pry it out, and it should come out fairly easily. And after you've released all the screws, you can see that there's no more. You got to pry the flex cable up a little bit because it's attached to some glue. So in my case, what was damaged with mine is that the power button wasn't working very well. So that's why I'm replacing mine. But this, if your headphone jack's broken, your volume up, your volume down, or your mute button, then replacing this should fix the problem. Now I've got the part out of the casing, you can see here. And here is the part itself. Here's my replacement part that I ordered, and the company that has provided this part is iTech. So I don't know if they're still doing this because this is an old part. iTech Repair Ltd should still have them. I'm not quite sure though. So first link in the description, there will be a link to the replacement parts that they sell. So what I'm trying to do here is align the flex cable so it sits in very nice and tight. I'm also putting the headphone jack in already because it allows the flex cable to stay in the casing. So right here you can see that I'm using my Phillips 00 screwdriver to put the screws back in over the plates to keep the flex cable in. And this is just a matter of fact of putting the screws back in the right hole and putting it all together like I took it apart. So right here you can see that I'm putting the little button back in, so then you can put the flex cable back in inside the little latch, if you get what I mean. Got to put the latch side through the flex cable, and then the button through the casing, so then you get that click and it jumps up back again. If that's not happening, then you have done that wrong, and it's worth to go back and readjust that. The phone is now on. I would recommend turning the phone off when you're doing these type of repairs, but I've got a damaged screen, so I can't actually slide the power off there. So I've now attached the flex cable into the motherboard. It just snaps in like a little Lego. And when you hear that click, then you've got it right. I'm just going to test if the part works. If it works, then you can put the metal plate back on, as you can see here. Put the 3 screws back into place. And then just pop the black antenna cover back onto the bottom of the phone. So you can see here I've now repaired my home button, but it's also my power button, but it's also worth checking the other connections if they have gone in right, because you might have a faulty headphone jack, but if you haven't put the power button in right, then it won't work. So I'm just testing all of the features there, and you want to do that before and after, just to make sure that it wasn't broken in the first place. I'm going to put the SIM card tray back in, and that is the repair done. Hopefully this video helped you with the repair that you're doing, and if not, then hopefully you were at least entertained and enjoyed it just as much as I did filming it. Let me know by liking this video and in the comment section below. Peace.